Well, I'm no longer in the Florida Keys. Now I am, well, I'm just say on the outskirts of Fort Myers here in Florida. We're about 25 miles, well, probably about 15 miles east of Fort Myers. That's where we're the way it's expanding out the entire town. So we're on the outskirts of it. We're inland quite a bit, but I'm going to show you guys something here. Um, Turn this around so you guys can see it. Now this campground we're at is called Old Florida Motor Coach and RV Resort. They have 256 spots in this campground. Now as you see as I'm going around here, this place is like a ghost town. We went around this morning and counted. Hold on, it goes on around this way. I was on top. Sorry about that. I was on top of my truck so y'all could see it. But that side. But we went around earlier this morning, and this place literally. Let's stand on this picnic table. Okay. This place has, like I said, 256 spots, and we counted 47 campers here out of all these spots. We got here Friday. We left Sugarloaf Key KOA on Friday, and we got here, I think we left down there, it was like 9:20, 20 after 9, and we got here Friday afternoon. It was right about 4 o'clock, and but we went to we got here for, like I said, Friday, so we didn't do much. We unpacked again yesterday being a Saturday. Get that, you guys see a bit better here. Saturday, which was yesterday, we went up to the clubhouse. Well, it's like a clubhouse, but it's like the office. They got a restaurant, a bar, they got a pool, they got a hot tub up there, and was just me and my girlfriend up there. And I asked them, the bartenders, there were two of them. There was a girl, and she was training a lady, and I said, so is it busy? Like, is this normal? And she said this is the worst she has ever seen this park being this empty. I guess last year wasn't too bad, which being last year as in winter of 2024, like the January, so it's been a year ago. Well, a little over a year, because now we're in 2026, but in the beginning of 2025, I'm sorry. But this was strictly just a RV park. Well, because they have lost so much tourism down here, they are selling off campground spots now, and they are charging $100,000 for these spots, and I don't know the extra fine print in there. And then there's let's see if I can go back over here and show you. They got these little buildings over here. You see those buildings? Let me turn this camera around. This is back that way. Those buildings right over here. See them right there? That building right there. I think they're 3 or 4. They're like little, kind of like a mini house, but it's like a one big building, but they broke it up into 3 or 4 sections. They're selling those for $500,000. And this resort is privately owned, and that tells me that because they're so upside down on their what they owe, I guarantee you they owe investors money or bank money, that now they're having to sell off lots to try to recoup some of what they lost. And they told me that they had an extra 5 acres. I believe it was on the back where I was standing on the back of my truck on the hitch, and towards the front of my truck facing that direction, they had 5 acres that They were going to develop, but had to. They said they had to put a hold on it, which I told me they ran out of money. But that's how hard up these campgrounds are. You seen how empty Sunshine Key, Ohio Key was. Well, we was at the KOA on Sugarloaf. It was only busy the first couple of days we was there, and then people started leaving. And that one, we went around and we walked through the other streets through there. And that one was owned by a corporation, KOA, not independently owned like a lot of these KOAs. And it had 65% that was filled up. The rest was vacant. But that just shows you how bad these places are hurting for tourism. The job losses have piled up so much, and they just continue to get worse. Inflation has killed people. Overpaying for properties. A lot of home buyers the last several years overpaid. A lot of them didn't listen to people like me and thousands of others. Don't be paying these prices because everything's going to crash, and it is. But I feel sorry for the people that's dumb enough to buy in here and pay $100,000 for a campground spot, because eventually the owner of this he'll either go bankrupt or he'll go into default. Something's going to happen out of it. And the people that bought in here, I don't think are going to be very happy. I'm not sure if they do deeded plots in here, which I don't think they do, because most campgrounds don't. It's like a 99-year lease. You don't really own it. It's kind of like a timeshare almost. But when we was at Sunshine Key, because we were there for a month, and I was talking to some other people that were staying in there, and that is owned by Encore. I don't know if it was an LLC or incorporated, but that's a big investment company. And it's a Sunshine Key, but they got some big name for all the resorts. Thousand Trails, that's what it is. Thousand Trails. Well, they are hurting so bad for their tourism just around the country, because they got places all around the country, that I was talking to some people, and they were buying lifetime passes, and they were paying $14,000 for these passes. Well, supposedly when they first bought them, that $14,000, or I think one said they were $15,000, but it was a lifetime, and that was everything. Well, now they changed it, and one of the guys that he was close to us where we were camping at, that they now had to start paying $20 a day to stay at the places. So I mean, granted, if let's say you are living, let's say you sold all your stuff and living in your camper full time, just traveling around. So you got to pay $20 times 30 days in a month. That is $600 a month you got to pay on top of the $15,000 you paid for your lifetime pass. So they're increasing little fees and stuff because what they're making is not enough to cover their expenses. And you're going to see a lot of these campgrounds is going to go belly up. Excuse me. Just like the one I recorded in Bradenton, the Bradenton KOA. Now, granted, that KOA itself is owned by the farmer, which that's an actual working family farm, and they took part of the farm to make the campground out of. That's a nice campground. The only thing they need a pool. That'd be great, and that'd be an excellent campground. But they can sustain it, that KOA, because that's already on the family farm, so it's already paid for itself. But places like this, nah, you're going to see them going belly up. If they even get bought out at all, a lot of times properties that go into foreclosure never do get bought. When you go to the sheriff auction, I went to the sheriff auction religiously back from 2008 onwards. Every Friday I was at the sheriff auction, and some properties just never go sold. The back taxes, they just keep piling up because nobody wants to buy the property. or the bank can't get it sold. They just keep dropping the price until they do get it sold. But I'm just trying to report on what I'm seeing, and this is firsthand info. I mean, this is firsthand information. I mean, while I'm right here, I'm showing you guys, you know, firsthand what's going on, and not what people's trying to tell you, like, oh, we're busy, we got people coming in. No, you don't. I mean, we actually left Sunshine Key early to go to the KOA because they had that many cancellations. Because I had checked before we got down here at the KOA, and they were booked up before we even got to Sunshine Key, because we went straight to Sunshine Key. And the last, it was we left, I think it was 2 days early, and because they claimed that they were all booked up, and you know, but I should have booked earlier. Well, when I happened to just look on there, all of a sudden they had, you know, not just a couple of cancellations, they had a bunch of cancellations. And they got to get them spots filled, because anything that sits empty, they're not making any money out of. But I'll see if I'll show you guys anything else. The water, I will say, because like I said, my mom lives in Bradenton, and I remember back in October they were on burn bans. But the pond over here, there is such lack of rain on the west coast here in Florida. This pond, there's one that's dried up, and the next one over here, it's getting pretty slim too. But when we was driving through the Everglades, even back in October, it was getting where it was getting like the water levels was dropping. And now coming back through the Everglades, they're on Route 41, which is the Miami Trail, Tampa, Miami. And if you looked off so we're coming north on the Miami Trail towards from Homestead to Naples. On the west side of the road, all that swamp, it was literally, you could see dirt, and the dirt, it was mud when we went to Sunshine Key, but coming back, it was literally dried up. Like, there is nothing. There's like grass growing in there now because of what little water's left in there, and all the gators and stuff, they've all went to the other side of the road, and they're all getting more crammed into that area because of the lack of rain. And like I said, we can't have a fire here because of the burn ban. But I just want to show you guys that and report on what I'm actually, you know, experiencing firsthand, so you guys can see it versus what the media tells you. So other than that, you guys got any questions, feel free to ask, get a hold of me. I usually post these to my Facebook. I post them on public, that way that they can click on it and hopefully come to YouTube and view it. But hope you guys have a good rest of the weekend, and like the video, subscribe to my channel if you would, please. Share my videos. I'm trying to get my numbers up, so it kicks the algorithm up, that way more numbers and more people see it. But I appreciate it. See you next time.